Yeah, baby. All right, go. Yeah. All right. Desert Rampage, USPA, Nevada, 2024. I got a meet recap and I got some stuff I wanted to talk about. But before I get started, I have some powerlifting news. In the world of powerlifting, as you guys know, I've been talking about competing in the WRPF Nationals in October. But I found out at this meet, there's some interesting things going on in the world of powerlifting, and I was wondering if you guys had heard anything about it, because they didn't really want to discuss, I guess there's some legal implications. The director of the USPA was at the meet, and all the international refs were also at the meet, which is unusual for a local meet, but not so much in Nevada, because, as you know, that's kind of where they are located. So it's not unusual to see the heads of the organization at the local meets. But they were discussing, if you go on WPR, World Powerlifting Federation, WRPF. You go on their website, Nationals is no longer listed. You can't sign up for it. It's just not listed on the calendar. And I was asking them about it, and I think that the event's being canceled. So the competition that I'm supposed to compete at in October might not be happening. Now, Cephas and Tommy H., I'm asking you guys specifically if you've heard anything about this. Apparently, this is what I can say, is somebody in that organization started their own federation, and there's some shady stuff going on where they poached a bunch of people from different organizations and lifters, and now there's some legal stuff going on, and I was told that they couldn't give me more information yet, but it's all going to come out. So I don't know what's going on. But, you know, the head of the USPA asked me if I was still competing, and he implied, he didn't say I couldn't or shouldn't, but he was saying if it was me, he wouldn't. I don't know what that means. But, you know, again, then I went on their website just to see if, you know, if registration was still open, and it's not on the calendar anymore. They removed it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. My plans was to, and still are, I haven't changed anything yet, is to compete in October. But it sounds to me like they're canceling the meet, and they're going to be issuing refunds to everybody that signed up. If you guys know more about that, hit me up. And as I get more information, I'll also keep you guys posted. So if I don't know what I'm doing now. If I don't compete in October, it's highly likely I'm just going to take some time off and start focusing on making videos about coaching. That's kind of what I was thinking, is I want to start making little coaching videos, how-tos, you know, like training, stuff like that. You guys let me know what you're interested in. And I noticed that when I'm doing my live streams, I get a lot of questions about bulking, programming, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of, I think maybe there's a little bit of a market for some how-to videos, and that's stuff that I could do. Because I'm obviously never going to stop training, whether I'm competing or not. Like, I'm not just going to stop lifting. I don't know if I have it in me. You know, my wife said, "So, are you done? Like, if you're not going to compete in October, are you done?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done-ish." Like, what is? But I do need to heal. Like, my body is definitely fighting me. This meet, it was interesting. I'll tell you. I didn't have to do a water cut because I had dysentery. I apparently had food poisoning, and I was, for lack of a better phrase, crapping my brains out for 2 days in a row. And when I went to weigh in, I still didn't make 198. I was still a couple pounds over, but I was at the lighter end of the weight class, so I wanted competing at 100 kilograms, but I weighed about 205 pounds on a weigh-in day. And then I weighed myself again on Saturday competition, and I had managed to hydrate back up to about 213. But I was just, the water was just running through me. I mean, in between those lifts, I was using the bathroom, and it was pretty bad. In other news, I have been doing a lot more figurine painting, so I have a bunch of video footage that I'm going to compile and put together. I found this little diamond in the rough. Now, you guys zoom in and look at this thing. I found in my collection, I had a Death Watch Terminator, and I was wondering why this Terminator, Salamanders, didn't quite look like the rest of them. It was just a little bit off, the way the armor is designed, the way the features are sculpted. I always thought, why doesn't this one look like the rest of them? And as it turns out, this is from a Kill Team box set. And I had him in there and I didn't realize it. So I've stripped him and I'm repainting him. And instead of the Salamander's green, he's going to be all black, except for his shoulder pauldron, which still keeps his chapter insignia on it. And I think that's going to be really cool when I'm done with him. A little diamond in the rough that I found. And I've been doing a lot more artwork. I had to take a break from doing videos. I've been sick, man. I am just not. Like, the worst time to get sick is right before a competition. Things worked out okay. I still had a squat PR, while not my best squat ever. Like, I've had higher squats in the gym. It is the best squat I've ever posted in competition. It was 620 pounds, kilos, like 619 point something, whatever. I don't know. Kilo math. It's not exactly 620. My bench, oh man, my bench was horrible. When I went to go bench, I struggled with my opener. I barely got my opener, which was 350 pounds. And then I went up to my second attempt thinking maybe I just didn't set up right. And I couldn't get it. I didn't get my second attempt. One of my good friends who is the expediter, Lon Wilborn, he mentioned to me when he was asking me what weight I wanted to go up to for my next attempt, and he said, "You look horrible, dude. You look totally dehydrated. You need to drink water." And I didn't realize it, but I'd been using the bathroom so much that I wasn't keeping up with my hydration. So I bombed my second and third attempts for bench. It was terrible. I was thinking, I'm going to have to drop out of this meet. I'm done. He had me sit in the corner. We got me a gallon of water, and they got me some bananas and cookies and stuff. So I ate a couple bananas. I drank half a gallon of water, and I just rested. And then when I started warming up for deadlifts, I kind of got my second wind. I was starting to feel better. And I was able to pull off the rest of the meet. I obviously lost some strength. I did not get my third attempt. My second attempt for deadlifts was 650 pounds. And that's decent. It's not my best, but considering that I weighed 20 pounds less than the last time I competed. And I kind of lost that weight pretty quickly. It wasn't the best weight cut in the world. You're shitting your brains out. 650 is not horrible. My third attempt, I went for 670, and I wasn't able to get it. So, okay, I still took the state records across the board for the weight class. I came close to the national records on a couple of them. I solidified myself as the number one ranked 50-year-old for my weight class. Currently, as of this year, I have the number one ranking based on dots. So it wasn't, could have been worse. I also placed first in Masters and Open, and I had the highest total at the competition. So despite the fact that this is powerlifting, we're talking 50 years old is it's on the older side of competitors. I wasn't the oldest guy there. There was one guy who was doing bench only who was in his 60s, and there was one old man in his 70s who was competing natural, and I think he weighed something like 150, 160 pounds, and he had over 1,000-pound total. So that guy clearly, in my mind, was the best lifter at the meet, all things considered. Having over 1,000 pounds in your mid-70s, weighing around 150 pounds, that's amazing. And I celebrate you, my man, but I did have the highest total of the competition, so nobody outlifted me. There were some guys there that were pretty big boys, and I was really shocked that they weren't able to. Come on, beat the old man. I know it's a local meet and they're not that big, but I can't be the number one guy in Nevada. You know what I mean? Like that just, because in California it just seems, I don't know. I guess I don't know what's happened to the competitors in Nevada. I was talking to Steve Dennison about that. He's the president of the USPA, and he was there. And what he told me was they really desperately need a state chair for the state of Nevada. So they need someone like me to step up, spend about $25,000 on equipment, and start hosting competitions. And as many competitions as we want, or as many as we are willing to organize. And he was saying that if you do 10 competitions a year, I can make personal profit more than I'm making now in construction. And that is super tempting. I was talking to Steve about it, a good friend of mine, Steve, and I'm like, we thought about, that's a turnkey business. That really is. I got to do a little more research. I got to figure out the logistics of it, because there's been a couple guys that have come and gone, and I think they were doing pretty well. They had their own gyms, so they stored the equipment, and in between meets, people could come to this gym and lift using the equipment that you would use for competition. And then they either had competitions at his gym, or they loaded everything up and then, like went to Reno or whatever, Carson City, Elko. Find the entire population of Elko and have a competition there. Yeah, but I bet those miners, man, I bet some of those boys can lift pretty heavy. Point being, it's a turnkey business opportunity, and I'm so tempted to just take a VA business loan out. We've got a business plan, we've got everything. Like I've been talking about this, and my hesitancy to pull the trigger on it is I got to be able to provide for my family, and would they put up with me being on the road half the year? Because it would be a lot of traveling. Well, I don't know. So you could theoretically have all the competitions in Las Vegas. But what we need to do is we need to start attracting the lifters back, because before COVID, Nevada was a mecca of powerlifting. Like, we had 6-7 meets a year. They had, 100 lifters a day. It was all weekend long. It was 2 racks, 2 flights, or 4 flights on each rack. I mean, we're talking like these meets were huge. And now it's like, 60 to 100 lifters. That's just not a big competition. Because your profit's going to be based on the amount of people you attract, and of course the visitor, you charge, whatever, $10 a person to come in, and then you sell merchandise. Iron Rebel, USPA has their merchandise as well. They have partnerships with SBD, Kabuki. There's a bunch of affiliations, and you sell that merchandise at the competitions, and you can also host anybody you want, like local businesses that do like protein drinks and stuff like that, health bars, that kind of stuff. A lot of those guys will show up. The more that you can attract, everybody gets a cut. The gym that you host your competitions gets a percentage of that. So it's supposed to be mutually beneficial to everybody, and that's all going to be contingent on the amount of people that you're going to get to show up. And right now, Nevada's just tanked. It's just, I don't know, like the tested divisions are doing really well. So there's been a real big spike in natty lifters, and that's awesome. But we used to have all the big, gnarly, roided up monsters would come out of the woodworks and come to Vegas to lift, and now it's just I don't know. They're all going to California, Utah, Arizona. And, I can easily, it's a 4-hour drive to go lift in Vista, so that's not a big deal for me as a competitor, and I think that's part of the issue, is, rather than, go to, I don't know. All I know is that I aim to fix it. I want to bring lifting back to Nevada the way it was before COVID ruined it. It didn't help that it knocked half the gyms out of business that we had affiliations with. That's a problem. But I think what happened is a lot of the people that were running the organization and they were doing all this stuff, they moved to greener pastures. They went to California, basically. Now we got to bring them back. Got to get them all back here, baby. How do we do that? Well, it starts with me maybe opening up a gym with my name on it. And that's, is my reputation that good in the organization? Yeah, I think I have a good enough name in the USPA and the IPL, or if I opened up a small gym in Vegas and started hosting competitions, with you guys and this YouTube channel, I think I could pull it off. I really think I could. But it's scary. It's scary to think, I've got a pretty good career and a pretty good income, and things are stable right now. It's like, this is a big risk. So it's a lot to think about. So, immediate plans moving forward. If RPF Nationals has indeed been canceled and I am not going to be competing in October, I am going to start focusing a little bit more on boxing. My daughter's going to be sanctioned by the state of Nevada. My son is interested in possibly competing. And I was talking to my Coach Paul, and he wants me to get sanctioned. I had my first sparring session. It went well. I definitely got tagged a couple times. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun, and it proved that I can hold my own. And I got that fear out of the way. Obviously, the guy, we weren't going 100%, and he was right there to stop it if it got too ugly. And I have about 6 private sessions that he wants me to that's scheduled with him. It's just going to be me and him one-on-one training, and then it's going to be about 6 months of sparring. But point being is I'm going to start dedicating myself more to the sweet science. I want to see how good I can get, or if I can get good at all. And like anything else, we just don't do things half-assed. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way. And if that means me getting in the ring and getting killed, and hey, at least I can say I did it and I tried. The only thing that sucks about it, and I still haven't worked this out, is I told Coach Paul that I have a channel and I need content. And I'm not going to train my ass off and not have anything to post to YouTube. So we're working that out. He gave me the reasons, and it's understandable. Like when I did the sparring match, the guy I was sparring against said he didn't want to be in a YouTube video. So that's just okay. I got to respect that. But like I told Coach Paul, you got to get me hitting the mitts or something. You got to give me something. You have to give me something to work with. So hopefully I'll be getting some more footage of that. And I think that's going to be really awesome, because I get to show you guys, like, I am actually learning a lot. I'm doing pretty good. It's hard to display that when I'm just punching my bag in the garage, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on that. And in the interim, I'm also going to be trying to do a lot more training videos, how-tos, like a lot of the questions you guys were asking me during my last live stream was like questions on bulking, things of that nature. I think that, I can do some content on that could be beneficial to you guys. So, again, let me know in the comments what kinds of information you would like me to focus on. It could be lifting tutorials. It could be, how to squat properly based on body types, that kind of thing. Deadlift stance, things of that nature. How to, technique versus strength, how to incorporate everything, how to get the most out of your like first squatting, if you're high bar squatting, you're using your quads. If you're low bar, you're using your hips. How do you incorporate it so you get all of them firing at the same time? I can help with things like that. So yeah, I want it to be a collaborative effort. So you guys let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to accommodate. Because if I'm not training for competition, I got to have something to post. And I don't know. It might be a cool evolution. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, that's enough out of me. I am exhausted, and I do need to go to bed. I've got this whole week off. I don't have to work. So we'll see what we get into. In the meantime, I love you guys, and I will see you on the battlefield.